There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cyslodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dahna, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagin. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagin. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Xion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be you ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menacia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
You're mine!
You'll soon see about that!
It's all
Be my guest! Soaring light spear! Abort! Demon! I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! Azure storm! Double demon!
This one's mine! I'm gone!
Whirlwind snap! Swallow blade! Dragon form!
Tiger blade!
Demon fang!
Go for it! Prepare to crumble! By the
These
power of
fists have
water!
got your name on them!
Mega ray!
Here we
Back
go
into the
again!
power of spin! Swallow blade! Spike!
Mirage! Dragon form!
Here's evil! This one is mine!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Super Swallow!
Here!
Watch it! Take this!
These ones can run rings around us!
Think you can fly?
Time to stop!
Swordblade Alpha! Raining slash!
Piercing roar!
I'm just getting started!
Thunderous devastation! Dragon form!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
I'm on it! Orochi Fury! Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! I'm on it! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Here we go again!
Flaming Thrust! Rising Falcon! First Strike!
Meteor!
Castle! Rising Falcon!
Here's evil!
This one's mine! This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Out of our way!
No further! There!
Shock!
Hurricane!
Watch it!
I think I'll pass on the handle.
First aid!
Swordblade Alpha! Blow away!
Shield and mace!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! Whirlwind snap! Looks like all good things come to an end.
Double Demon
Take this!
Think you can fly? Time
Burn
to
in
stop!
hell!
Now I'm in the groove!
Eagle Assault! Sonic Thrust!
This one's
Sword
mine!
Blade! Double Demon Fang! Eternal Dawn!
Roll now! Watch my burn her down!
Be still! Rising Falcon!
Now you see what I can do!
This one's all
I
mine!
really owe you one! Now I'm in the groove!
I'll take you all on! Flare the Molotov! Look sharp!
Megasonic thrust! Can't counter the knocking!
Eat this in a vine!
Finish without
That freaking does it!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Double demon fang! Swallow blade!
It's too much! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Swallow dance! Flush! Take this!
Rising Viper!
This!
Stay away from my
Where are
friend!
you going?
Orochi Fury!
Lost his pain.
Rising Viper!
Resuscitation!
Shockwave Strike!
Resuscitation!
Demon fang!
Falling
I
Sprint
know you won't! Take this!
Tiger Blade! None shall escape my judgment!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help!
Dragon Form!
Piercing roar!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
I won't forgive you!
Pieces! Catch it up!
I see one, eh?
Double Demon Fang!
You think that shield will save you?
For my lord!
Dragon Form! Explosive Ring!
Eagle Assault!
An astral art?
That's my shield!
Shut him down.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Now or never.
Eat this!
Savage roar!
Lightning Thrust!
Glacial
Rising
Spear!
Falcon! Rising
Glacial Spear!
We're not finished!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons. That's far enough!
Now you
There you are! Demon Fang!
That'll bring you down!
Demon Fang!
What's this? A showdown between blade and fist!
You got
In a
spirit!
vine!
Dragon Shout!
Glimmer Dragon!
Rising
Tiger!
Rising Falcon!
Hurricane Strike!
Rising Viper! Rising Phoenix!
Healing Circle! Discard! Do it!
Demon
Pull
Fang!
myself together!
Ignite!
I really owe you one.
Into the shadows!
Demon Fang!
Do it!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Demon Fang! Double Demon!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Looks like we got them all.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the...
Get lost!
Eat this!
This one's all mine!
Glacier, let me have
No further!
down! You're off!
Time to cross blade! Dragon Swarm!
I'll heal you all! Healing Circle!
Thanks, Xion.
Swallow blade!
Annihilation! How about this? Into the shadows!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Isara! Tiger Blade!
Prepare to be
Inferno Crossing! Tiger Blade!
Hurricane Thrust!
Warrior Sword! Time to
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
All good things come to an end.
Here I come! This one's on!
Far enough!
Blast the sun!
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! Freeze Laser!
Interrupted!
Explosive ring! You picked the wrong fight!
Lunar Blast!
Wind! Stardust!
Cyan Instant!
Rising Falcon!
Burn! Water Snake Wing!
Into Fury!
Talon Storm!
Double Demon Fang!
Tiger Blade!
Rising
No further.
Nothing gets by me!
Rising
I
Falcon!
can carve through armor.
Look sharp!
Reload!
I'm on it! Dragon Form! Try this!
Eagle
Think
Fly!
explosive ring!
Piercing Roar!
By the power of flame!
Swallow dance.
Radiant
Let's see what happened there as you crossed me. You shouldn't have done that.
Here, let me help. Falling Storm!
Time to shine! Far enough! Come on! You
Dragon Form!
Shattering. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here's the healing arm! First aid!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara.
We're still standing. Barely.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Glacial Spear!
In a vine? Eat this!
Hurricane Blast!
Rising Wiper!
That freaking gun!
Hurricane Blast! Here's the evil!
Eat this!
Freeze Laser! Will this help?
Flaming Meteor!
Not today!
Watch it!
Switch to offense! Talon Storm! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Too fast!
Stand back. I trip it up.
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here we go! One
Demon
more!
Fang!
Radiant Pierce!
Soaring Light Spear! Hit on!
Smash you!
Take Soul! And again! Searing Flame! Reload! Searing
Inferno
Flame!
Punch!
Reload! Hurricane Loop! By the
Double
power of
Demon
flame!
Fang!
Where are you going?
Swallow dance!
Glacial Ray!
Total devastation!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Not today!
Step into the fray!
Dragon
By the power of water! Hurricane Flame!
You're mine!
Make it rain!
House this!
Double Demon Fang!
First strike!
Burning
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Don't get complacent.
An opponent like this should be easy.
In a vine?
Glimmer Dragon! Not in your dreams!
Lunar Run!
Some of us talking it out.
Bring him down! Destruction!
Healing
Prepare to be seen! Dragon Form! The flame inside me yearns to be let loose!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! I'll tear you apart!
Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Here goes!
Double Demon Fang! Destruction! Demon Fang! Try harder! Eat dirt!
Freezing storm! I never miss!
Give it a shock!
This one's mine.
Stardust!
River
blade!
This one's mine!
Incineration wave!
Into the shadows! Falling storm! By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace!
I'll tear you apart!
All this one! Explosion!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
I won't forgive you!
No further!
Close the dome! Not in your dreams! Here I go!
Wind!
Go!
Devastation!
Gunslinger around here! Hurricane fire!
Burn in hell!
Hurricane strike!
Now we're never.
Now you see what I can do!
Fire in the hole!
That frickin' does it! In a bind?
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Hurricane's away!
Demon Fang! Storm! Not today!
Glacial spear!
Shouldn't have
Here's
messed with
evil.
me!
You're mine! Demon Fang! We're not finished!
I never miss!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Take it! Hit it again! Go in!
Inferno Punch!
There! Hurricane strike!
Armor won't save you!
My shield!
Here's a healer! Frozen!
Hammer!
Seems about right to me.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dahna from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dahna or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control symbols like that before.
How about with the stone that looks suspiciously like a master core? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Doodles, then we get some answers.
Go for the weak point! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Here, let me help! First aid!
Burn in hell!
Here I go! And again! By the power of flame! Finish without a trace!
Can't get out of this!
It was nice while it lasted. One more!
The flame inside me!
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Ignite!
There! One more! Here, let me help! First aid! First aid! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Here, let me help! First aid!
Not today!
Mega ray! Annihilation! By the power of flame! Finish without a trace! Explosion!
Now, while it's freely!
Take it down!
Demon Fang! First strike! Burn in hell!
This one's mine! Explosion! Hurricane strike!
Now you see what I can do!
Not on my watch! Freeze laser! Target First
Not my
aid!
finest.
You'll pay for that!
First aid!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Resuscitation!
Swallow Blade!
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Not today!
Here I go! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Here's a healing arc! First aid! By the power of flame! Finish without a trace!
In a bind?
None shall escape my judgment!
Here comes something big!
Try to dodge!
May be strong,
But I'll never
Here's a
back
healing
down!
arc! First aid!
Their arcs were interrupted.
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
None shall escape my judgment! You're open!
I'm on!
First aid! None shall escape my judgment! Think again! You're
You're
open!
mine!
None shall escape my judgment!
Eat dirt!
Here's a healing arc!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Here's a healing arc! First aid! Here, let me help! First aid!
You're mine! No escape!
Resuscitation! Here, let me help! First aid! Think again! Now! Go! That'll bring you down!
What is this? Hey, you okay?
Here's a healing arc!
Still
First
do
aid!
this!
Resuscitation! Here's a healing arc! First aid!
I can carve through
Here's
walls!
an over!
I'm on a roll now! Eat dirt!
None shall escape my judgment! Ray!
The enemy's on the rope.
We've got him where we want him.
It's time to end this battle.
Pinned down!
By the power of flame! Finish without a
Burn in
trace!
hell! It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Hurricane strike! Here, let me help! First aid! Hurricane strike! Resuscitation!
Do you require a hand?
Here's a healing arc!
mark! Birthday! That'll bring you down!
Now you see what I can do!
Do it! Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Now it's just her!
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning! The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more.
Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnagan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzalik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? let's move on.